Hey, and welcome to the live stream. We're live on both Facebook and YouTube right now. So I'll have this up for a replay for at least a little bit after the stream is over so you can view it later if you missed the chance to view it live. Miguel, good to see you here. He says, cool new logo. And finally acknowledging Laska as the star of the show. I've acknowledged Laska as the star for a long time. There's like 265,000 subscribers on the channel, and she's probably responsible for at least 100,000 of those. The logo is great, except Laska's ears look like a bunny. So I posted this on Facebook yesterday, and some people commented saying she kind of looked like a bunny. So something I did was I added a collar to it with the logo at the bottom of her collar. And then Mai did a new version where she made Laska's ears a little bit smaller in this one. But, I mean, it's a cute bunny, if nothing else. Hello, Mike from Chicago. Good to see you here. Will we hear birds tonight? Maybe I should do like a bird track. Some people have thought that when I was outside, that I had like a bird track playing in the background. But it is raining outside, so that's why I'm in here. Did you see Destiny in Vegas? I think I saw Destiny's friends. Pato Chingon. Oh, well, bird track. Thank you for being a channel member, by the way. I appreciate that. How's the audio, by the way? I have a little mic right here instead of my normal computer audio. Yeah, so Mai was doing some edits on her phone while in the car. So like once she's at her computer, she'll be able to touch it up in a better way and make better adjustments to it. Goo audio. Sounds good. Audio is fine. Cool. Thank you. If you have any questions or anything, put them in the chat box below, and I'll be answering a bunch of questions in tonight's Q&A. Hola from Puerto Morelos. Where's your Tangerine shirt? I have a Tangerine travel shirt on, but I need to buy some Tangerine clothes so I can fit with the brand. How's Laska? We went for a long walk yesterday, so she's struggling a little bit today. Anytime we go for a long walk, the next day is a little bit harder for her, but I have a feeling that will get better over time. Patty asks, are flights from Mexico to Vegas pretty inexpensive? I mean, I think there's still cheap flights available if you look, but I definitely paid more on this trip than I had on previous trips to get there. Hey, Jordan, any plans on growing the horn back? I could probably like get the horn now with my current hair just by styling it in a different way. Danny says, I'm so glad to see that you're doing well. You seem much happier. Your girlfriend is so pretty. I am happy. She's amazing. Alaska, what are you doing? Are you okay? She's bending over as if I thought maybe she was about to throw up. She wasn't. Do you like Nelk? I don't know what Nelk is. Would you live in Tulum in the middle of the jungle? Not a chance. No. The mosquitoes they're too bad there. If for no other reason, it would be the mosquitoes keeping me away. How old is Alaska? She is 12 and a half. RD says, aloha from Maui. Aloha. Would you ever consider writing or creating an expat quick start guide or service for moving to Querétaro? A guide, yes. In fact, that's something I really want to do. I haven't started it yet, though. But like a service for moving to Querétaro, I don't know. I don't know if that's something I want to devote a bunch of time to. That sounds really time consuming. And I'm trying to focus more on things that like I can put the effort in once and then not have to put a lot of time into it afterwards. Nathaniel asked, what's your opinion on Ellis Island in Vegas? We love the barbecue half chicken and ribs and one good on buffalo. Yeah, so I mean, it's very close to the strip. Like if you're staying center strip at like a Bally's or Planet Hollywood, you're only 10 minutes walking away. And the odds are better over there, and they have some of the best food deals around. Like their breakfast, it's gone up in price, but it used to be like a $4.99 or something, steak and eggs, and it was so much food. It might be $6.99 now, but it's probably still the best deal in town. Hey V, good to see you here. Yes, hit the like button if you are enjoying the stream. Hola, Jordancito. Abrazo para Alaska. Hugs for Alaska. Mai's video making chilaquiles when? I don't know. That's a good question. I know it's been a year since your breakup, but don't you think this is too fast? You know best. Great videos. Thank you. No, I don't think it's too fast at all. I realize it's too fast for some viewers, and it's really making some people mad. But for me, no. And they'll get used to it. Either that or stop watching. We have a new member. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining as a channel member. Mojave Vibe Premium Mexican Blankets. Have you met Pompsy in Vegas? No, I have not. I met Say Hi to Matthew a couple years ago, and then did a collab with him at that point. And then on this trip, I met Jacob from Jacob's Life in Vegas. But those are the only two I've really met. Only two other Vegas YouTubers. Hey, Jordan. What's a must-see hidden gem in Mexico that we have to check out when we get back? I would say, I'll give you two. Tapalpa, Jalisco. And make sure you go hiking to the waterfall while you're there. And Bacalar as well. Garrett asks, are Americans still flocking to Mexico, or is the tide of Americans slowed? There's still a lot coming, no doubt. What type of veggies do you put in your jugo verde? I think the green juice normally comes with. Actually, I don't know. I've read the ingredients on many menus, and they're not always the same. I've never made it myself, but I'm pretty sure celery is always in it. And a lot of times there's pineapple juice to sweeten it up, but I forget what else it has. Have you ever been to Tequila, Jalisco? Yeah, it's a cool place. I've never stayed overnight in Tequila though. But something I think I enjoyed even more than tequila was taking the tequila train from Guadalajara. And this is the Herradura train, the Herradura Express. And that goes to a town near Tequila called Amatitan. And that's where the Herradura Hacienda is, where they produce all of their tequila. That was an awesome experience. Dustin asks, how are the road conditions on all the mountain roads around Querétaro? Do you see many motorcycles riding them? I haven't been up into the mountains of Querétaro, so I can't answer that. Thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Any advice on cameras to start? What do you use? So I have a few. Well, actually, now after this trip, I have a lot. But what I would recommend starting with is something simple. Something where you'll have enough to learn when you're starting a channel that you don't need like a big old fancy camera and have to learn everything about it. So I would keep it simple. If you have one of the newer phones, like your phone is good enough. There's lots of channels who've gotten to 100,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers using nothing but their phone. I filmed part of a video with just my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I was shocked at how well that turned out. So if you have a nice smartphone, I would just start out with that. If you want to get a camera, I'd probably go for like the GoPro 10. It's really versatile, and you can do like a nice external audio setup to get great audio there. And it's simple. It has various functions on it as well. You can easily do a time lapse, a hyperlapse, which is kind of like a walking or moving time lapse, and then it also has great video and is waterproof. So yeah, probably the GoPro 10 or your regular phone, just to keep it simple. Vive with the $27.99 Canadian super chat. Thanks so much. Hello, Jordan. Glad to see you do another live. We're missing Mai today. Hope she is well. Want to give a big shout out to all the other mods and, of course, everyone else joining us tonight. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, I'm missing her too. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've seen her, and she's getting back from Monterrey today, but she's too tired to hang out and just wants to go home and sleep and shower. So I did a live instead. Dallas says, I heard the peso is falling in value against the dollar. Uh, I mean, like in the last week or so, I think it has. However, like the last month before that, it was gaining in value against the dollar. I mean, it's always fluctuating. And I haven't looked at the chart in a few days. What's the best buffet, in your opinion, in Vegas? The buffet at Wynn. I love that buffet. How'd you meet your girlfriend? We met on Tinder. And, oh, there it is. And then after we matched, I sent her this message. And then we started talking. Kale says, new logo, Jordan Mai in Alaska. Yep. Yeah. She drew that picture on my whiteboard at my house to welcome me back from Vegas, and I loved it. And then I posted it on Facebook, and someone suggested that I turn it into a logo. So that's what I attempted to do. Do you have a day job? My full-time career is making videos. Bitcoin is crashing. Is it crashing this weekend, like today? Stephanie asked, does it bother Mai to see your love life with your ex, Maddie? I mean, I wouldn't call it my love life because there is no love life, but there's certainly a very public history there, and I mean, she does her best to ignore it, but sometimes it becomes overwhelming. She's doing well, though. How's inflation there? Pretty strong. Stronger than previous years. So a lot of locals are not liking all the high prices. Jordan, are you aware of any buffets in Vegas that have king crab legs? So I think the Sterling Brunch at Bally's does. I believe they have unlimited lobster tails and unlimited king crab legs. I can't talk, but it's expensive. As of a year or so ago, that was $125 a plate or $125 a person, and I'm sure it's gotten more expensive since then. But like if you go to the Wynn buffet for dinner, well then, is it for dinner only on the weekends or for dinner every day of the week? I'm not sure, but they have crab legs, hot crab legs there, and they're really good, although I don't think they're king crab legs. Now, they have crab legs earlier in the day as well at the Wynn buffet, but they're only cold and they're not hot, and I personally prefer the hot crab legs with the butter to dip it in. Oof, so good. Maggie, thanks for the super chat and for being a channel member. Thanks for encouraging checking out other embassies. San Diego requirement is either retirement assets or assets, and we qualify. Bonus, my sister lives there. Awesome. Yeah. So various Mexican consulates, like I was telling you before, they have different requirements. So if one doesn't work out for you and you're trying to get residency in Mexico, call around or email around and contact the others, because if you don't qualify at one, you might qualify at another. Will Mai join you in future videos in Las Vegas? Well, not from this trip, but as for in the future, who knows? But she wasn't there on this trip. Dave asked, when you take Mai to Las Vegas, which hotel would you like to stay at? Curious to know what you recommend as a good couples hotel. So this suggestion wouldn't be for everybody. It's like just it fits my circumstance, and I would probably do Conrad at Resorts World or Hilton at Resorts World. And the reason for this is I have a credit card that gets me automatic Hilton Diamond status. And with Hilton Diamond status, if there's availability, I get an automatic upgrade to a one-bedroom suite. And especially at Conrad, the one-bedroom suites are awesome. I love them so much. And they're way, way more expensive if I were to pay cash than a normal hotel room. Like this trip, I was in the one-bedroom suite, and it was if booking a normal hotel room, it was like $130, but the suite is going for $400 a night. So yeah, just having that Hilton Diamond status makes it worth it to stay there. Plus, also having status gets me $50 a day to spend in food, which is nice. Like food in Vegas can be really expensive, so that helps cut the food budget. Dallas asked, do you pay for a health plan down there in Mexico? No, I don't. For quite a while, I've kind of just been being my own insurance plan, where, like, I'll tell you why. So I was looking at insurance options, and they were so freaking expensive. Like, for example, it was going to be like $400 a month in just like a premium that I'm paying. And then it has a deductible of like $5,000 a year. So it's like, okay, I'm paying like about $5,000 a year, $4,800 a year in premium, out like every year out of pocket for sure. Plus, if I get in medical trouble, I have to pay the first $5,000 out of pocket. So that doesn't seem like a great option for me, considering how cheap most medical care is in Mexico. So what I started doing, I just started putting a little bit of money into my own health savings account each month. And that covers my healthcare expenses. Do you and Maya live together? No, we don't. Is that jaw drop on Tinder? Gotta try that for good luck. I mean, I like sending gifts. It breaks the ice and can get a conversation going. But yeah, I mean, if you just click on the gift button on Tinder and search for it, you'll find it. Is Mayra still in Monterrey? No, she's on her way back. Oh, Eric says, I believe the brunch at Bally's is permanently closed. Interesting. I'm going to look that up. Sterling Brunch. Permanently closed? What? Yep, Google agrees with you. It says permanently closed. Adriana, good to see you here. And thank you for being a subscriber on Facebook. Love the new logo. So thanks for your feedback. We're still playing with it, and the version in the thumbnail is like just what Mai did in the car on her way. So like once she gets to a computer, we'll be able to put some better details into it. Styles Humphrey with the 1999 super chat. Thank you very much. To your health. Salud. Hey, Jordan. Have you been to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop as seen on Pawn Stars? Yeah, I went years ago when the show hadn't been around for that long. Because I've been a big fan of the show ever since I first saw it, and that was a long time ago. But the pawn shop, for me, it was less than impressive. And none of the cast was there. So for me, I wouldn't go back. Not unless I had some special reason. Jordancito, thank you for the top content. Do you know if the Querétaro INM office is at all efficient for processing temporary residency? Where would you go? From what I hear, San Miguel de Allende is a lot more efficient than Querétaro. Querétaro gets lots of bad reviews for their immigration office. But I mean, lots of people still do it here, so you can. It's not like you can't, but you might just have a better experience in San Miguel. And I mentioned San Miguel because it's close to here. It's only an hour away. Dan asked, what do you think about the MGM Grand? Do you consider it dated or is it mid-range? Going to stay there next month. I mean, so it's one of the older hotels on the Strip, but I mean, staying there, if you pay a little upgrade fee for one of the premium rooms, which is going to be like, I don't know what they call them, but usually they're called like premium or remodeled or something like that. You're probably going to have a good experience, at least in terms of your room. So that's what I would do if I was staying there. Like there were some really expensive nights when I was on my last trip. So during those really expensive nights, I stayed at one of the cheapest Strip hotels, the Luxor. And the Luxor, a lot of people don't say not so great things about their rooms. However, I paid a little upgrade fee to get a recently remodeled room in the tower, and I had a nice stay. And that cost me $15 a night, plus I got to check in like 4 hours early. And the early check-in fee alone is $50. So I thought it was worth it. Christian, thanks for the super chat. American here, currently living in the USA. What jobs are available if I want to live in Mexico but earn US dollars? So you could do real estate. You could do like some type of expat relocation thing, tours for expats who are looking to come to Mexico or looking to come to your city. Those are things you could do that are in demand and can be paid in US dollars. There's now, after the pandemic, it used to be a lot rarer, but now there's a lot of companies that are offering remote work. So that's an option. And also, you could just take any skill that you have and figure out how you can earn a living from it, like creating your own business. So of all those things, that's what I'd recommend. I'd recommend thinking, what do you like to do? What are you good at? And how is that going to help other people? And if you can figure out how that's going to help other people, you can earn a living from it. Do you see a lot of refugees and immigrants down there? If you're talking like from countries further south, not a lot, but I mean, if I'm driving around, maybe a couple times a week, I'll see someone on the side of the road saying that I'm from Guatemala or something. Please help. Miguel says MGM Grand has an excellent location though. So I would say the location it's good in some ways. It's on the south end of the strip. You're pretty close to a lot of cheap restaurant options. You're not too far away from the Miracle Mile shops either, which is like the jackpot of cheap restaurants in Las Vegas. You're not mid-strip by any means. However, the monorail stops right in MGM Grand, so that can be a convenient option if you're staying at MGM Grand. So that can help you get further north on the strip very easily. Adriana, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate that. What do you think or expect from the new Mayan train? Honestly, I don't know. I don't have any expectations yet. But I mean, maybe it'd be cool, like a cool transportation option to get around the Yucatan Peninsula more easily. Like I think it's going to Palenque is one of the stops, and we didn't go to Palenque in the past because we were advised that the road to get there is too dangerous. So we were advised to just skip it. But like if the train's going there, well, then maybe that opens up that option. The Jiver, thank you for the $19.99 super sticker. I appreciate that. Jordan, are you still friends with Trish and Diego? Yeah. Alfonso says, my wife and I use the monorail in Vegas. It's awesome and would recommend it. Yeah, so I think it's awesome if you're staying in the right location. Like if you're staying somewhere that has a monorail stop or is close to a monorail stop, I think it's awesome. But if you're staying on the west side of the strip, I don't think the monorail is nearly as good. But anywhere on the east side of the strip, then it can be a very, very convenient option. And you can pay one flat fee for the length of your stay and get as many rides as you want. So I also like that. So that allows you a lot of flexibility to get north and south on the strip without incurring a bunch of Uber costs. Are there any YouTube personalities that you have met or spoken to? Well, I'll tell you about a few I've met recently. On this Vegas trip, I did a collab with Jacob's Life in Vegas. So he has a Vegas channel. And then I also met Ask Sebi, as well as his girlfriend or wife. What's her name? Mandy, I think is her name. But he does like a credit card channel. Not too long ago, I met up with Kinetic Cannons in Puerto Vallarta. That's all I can think of at the moment. What's your favorite Las Vegas hotel? So, assuming I'm paying full price and I don't have status to get a bunch of extra benefits and things like that, which like getting big discounts or getting a bunch of extra benefits can sway my decision. But based on like the value, I mean, I'm only going to choose from the nice hotels here, or the nicest hotels, but I would say Encore. I love Encore. Is there a video of Tangerine travels on the beach coming soon? Don't have a trip planned, but yeah, that'd be cool. Like, for example, after I buy a car, like, I think it'd be cool to drive to Puerto Vallarta or something, or somewhere around there, and take Alaska. Have you been to Delilah at the Wynn? I assume that's a restaurant. If so, no. The restaurants I've eaten at the Wynn are Cipriani's, which was awesome. I loved it. It was an Italian place. And then I went to Sinatra, which was like a really, really high end, also Italian place. But that one, I got a lasagna that was like $40 or $50, and it wasn't even that good. So I wasn't impressed with that. Thankfully, I had food credit and I didn't have to pay for that out of pocket. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone there. And then I also have gone to, there's an Asian restaurant there. I believe it's Chinese, and it has a Michelin star. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but I love that one as well. Okay, got to block a spammer here. Spammer, scammer. And Encore is handy to eat at that Wynn buffet. Yeah. Yeah, but I've stayed at the Wynn quite a few times, and I've only stayed at Encore once. Or did I stay at there twice? No, just once. And I definitely prefer the rooms at Encore over the rooms at Wynn. Heidi has a lot of questions here. Where's your new lady? She is on her way back from Monterrey. Love the new logo. Thanks. Which version do you like better? Do you like this version better? Well, all of you can answer this. Dang it, I need to remove this comment from the screen first. Okay. This version This version. It has to be round. So I don't have any other option for a logo besides something round because that's what the social media platforms use. Okay, and dang it, now I need to take that off. Okay, still figuring this out. What's up next for you two? Are you going to take a little trip to another part of Mexico? I'd love to know if you experience things differently when traveling with a local. Best of luck to you. Love the videos. So until Alaska is a little better, I don't think I want to leave her again. So maybe I'll do some trip nearby-ish, renting a car until I buy a car. And then after buying a car, like take a little bit longer trips. And then hopefully in a couple more months, Alaska will be more healed. So I'm looking through the comments, and some people are saying they prefer the first one. Some people I think the majority are saying they prefer the second one. But the problem is, I don't remember which one I showed first. Did I show this one first? Or did I show this one first? Orange border wins. Okay, the one with the orange circle, maybe that one was number 2. I like the plain version, but maybe then add a car too, or an Uber for now. That's funny. What is Alaska's health problem? Dog lover here. So she tore a ligament in her knee, basically the dog's equivalent of the ACL. And then she had surgery. Her surgery was, I think, 2.5 months ago now, but she's still recovering. She's an old pup. She's 12 and a half years old, so she might be taking longer to recover than a younger doggy. The orange circle border pops more, but the one without has simple elegance. I agree with this. That's kind of how I feel about them. But we're working on some options. And we'll probably put it out on Facebook or something to see what other people think. Can you recommend a hotel in Puerto Vallarta that's in the Romantica zone, beachfront? I like the logo without the orange circle. Hotel in beachfront romantic zone. Honestly, in Zona Romantica, there aren't a lot of hotels beachfront. I don't even know if there's any. So, no, I'm afraid I can't. Because, like, you go north or south from there, like, to where you find hotels, and you're no longer in Zona Romantica. When's the collab with Jacob coming? Probably a few weeks, because he had a couple other videos that he has to do first, and we're going to try to release it on the same day. Jeff asks or says, I've always watched via Facebook. Is there a way to contribute like a super chat from Facebook instead of using YouTube? Does the stars system work in the same manner? So yes and no. Like, yeah, you can send a highlighted comment on Facebook using stars, but with the software I'm using, unfortunately, I can't see when someone sends stars. So after every stream, I head back on over to Facebook and make sure I reply to everyone who sent stars during the stream. Do you ever see any electric vehicles down there? Any charging infrastructure? So, not a lot. I see some. And there is some charging infrastructure. It's not nearly as prevalent as it is in the US. But I'm kind of laughing because one of my friends here got a new electric BMW SUV, like the newest model. And he ran out of charge like 2 days after getting it. Yeah, so he got stranded in his brand new BMW because he didn't have a convenient charger for it. Domizi asks, what areas do you recommend staying in Mexico City? I plan on visiting Mexico City in October. Honestly, I'm not the best person to answer this. However, based on what people have told me, you're looking at the colonias Condesa, Roma Norte, Coyoacán. Those are three that come to mind. Joe says Roma La Condesa. Domizi, thanks for the super chat. Do you see any hope with solar powered cars? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know enough about the technology. La Truth says, will you end up buying property there or land? Maybe, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. The reason why I say maybe though is like here in Querétaro, the home prices are just like not a good value compared to what you can rent the same home for. So when it's that big of a difference, I don't see myself buying. But I have seen better values for homes in other cities. Lorraine says, I'll be in Santiago de Querétaro for a wedding next week. What culinary traditions, restaurants, or street food should we not miss? So if you want a higher end place, there's one place that's pretty darn cool. It's called Hacienda La Laborcilla. I'll put it in the chat box here so you know how to spell it. Hacienda La Laborcilla. Okay, click that. So I probably recommend that one. And there's also a place with amazing esquites. If you search on Google Maps for esquites de sabores, that'll direct you to this place in Zona. It's technically in Zona Centro, but it's not like in the tourist part of Zona Centro. So if you're walking around Centro, you're not going to find it. You have to like seek it out. But just search on Google Maps for esquites de sabores, and that place is awesome. They have basically esquites are corn in a cup, and they add spices to it and lime and whatever else you want. But at that one, they have so many options. It's insane. Like so many different flavors to choose from. I love it. Do you think solar powered cars will work in Mexico? Similar to your other comment, I just don't know. Sorry, I sent them back to back. Oh, gotcha. Did you graduate from college? And if so, what'd you graduate from? Yes, I did. I went to the business school at Arizona State University, specializing in supply chain management. Big difference, Dallas. Not U of A, ASU. That's our rival. Why are you so cute and nerdy? That's funny. Jim asks, have you ridden the zip line on Fremont Street? No, I haven't. Looks cool though. I don't know if it's worth the $50 or whatever it costs, but maybe for a one-time thing. Jordan, how old are you? If you let me guess, I would say 24 to 25. Just add 10 years and you're right on the money. I'll be right back. I got to help out Laska. Laska, you okay? Let me help you. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You okay? So she was doing something that's like, and apparently that's internal sneezing. And when a dog does that, if you take their nose and pull it back like this, it helps them stop. So that's what I was just doing to her. What's your favorite Las Vegas movie? I have to go with Ocean's 11. I know it's not a very popular one to pick for a favorite Vegas movie, but I like action movies and I like heist movies, and that one's really funny and it has a lot of good actors in it. That's not what I meant to click on. Would you recommend Querétaro for a family of 3, ages 47, 31, and 8 months? Yeah, definitely. And Victor, I see you sent something without any comments, so I'm guessing you sent stars on Facebook. Thank you very much. After the stream's over, I'll go ahead and go to Facebook and make sure I respond to everyone who sent any stars. But with my software, I cannot see your stars. I'm late. Will you show the logos again? Sure. So here's a couple options. So number one, and just keep in mind with this one, it's round and like this thing fits in a circle. So I mean the white corner parts are going to be cut off. And then this one, but of course it won't have that camera symbol there. Okay, we have some people saying the second one, that's the one with the orange ring around it. I like number one. Both are great. Number one here. First one. Second one. Too many details on the border. We're still working on it, so that this isn't the final product by any means. So with the border, without the border, without, without, with it. Okay, so everyone wants number two. Derek asks, my spouse and I are thinking of moving to Mexico. We are trying to narrow down between Oaxaca City, San Miguel, or Puebla. Any thoughts? Well, Puebla is a very different option from those other two. The city still has history, but it's very much a more modern city than Oaxaca and San Miguel are. The first two are certainly more culturally rich, but now a lot of people like culturally rich on the surface, but then they realize that a place being culturally rich means it's really freaking loud and there's celebrations for everything and there's loud ass rockets being shot off all the time that you'll think are gunshots at first. But I mean, San Miguel is probably the most expensive option of those, but it's a nice place. Of those, I would probably choose Puebla, but that's just with my own preferences. I'm watching with a group of 15 people and we all like the circle number 2. Interesting. That's a lot of people to be watching from on one computer or one TV. Wow. Vanessa asked, what's for dinner? That's a good question. I don't know. And JM says, try some more options for logos. I think it should be you and Laska. No, you and Lasco. So I have a fan called Lasco. So me and my fan. I'm just kidding. You're too early in your relationship with to include my, in my opinion. And that's from someone that actually likes her. I think almost everyone likes her. But some people are just mad about the change. You know, my relationship with her is very, very serious. Like I've never been this serious with anyone. So she's going to be a big part of my life for a long time. What's your favorite casino and why? What's my favorite casino? Cosmopolitan, because they offer the best comp drinks. Like you can, anyone playing there, you don't even have to be in the high roller room. They'll give you top shelf liquor, like their signature Cosmopolitan drink is so dang good. Or I went to the high roller room once, and I was playing video poker, and not even at that high of limits. It was $5 per round, so that's more than I normally play. But I just wanted to see what they would give me for drinks, and I asked for a drink menu. I had a guest with me, and I ordered 2 drinks, one for both my guest and myself, and then 2 waters. And I was able to order $56 worth of drinks, and then they brought 2 Fiji waters out as well. So, yeah, Cosmopolitan for the drinks. Brad, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Says the new logo is awesome. I'm glad you like it. So far, it seems to have overall pretty good feedback. We're still working on it, though. So there will be some detail changes, and maybe we'll end up posting several options to see what people like the most. Dan says, agreed. I love my so prim and proper. Hope you guys last forever. Keep Tangerine Travels channel, but start a new one, My and Me. Not a bad idea. Maybe we can do that for a Spanish channel, like a channel with Spanish only videos. I actually like that idea. Huh. Okay. I'd considered doing a Spanish channel for quite a while, but now with her in the picture, I think that actually makes more sense than before. Mexican Specs asks, are you going to keep the Tangerine name? Yes, I am. Just joining the live chat. I missed the 2 logos. Can you show them again, please? Sure. Here we go. Here's one option. Keep in mind it'd be round, so we'd be cutting off the corners. But this more or less fits as a round logo. Or this one without this camera symbol. Are you a robot? No, I'm a lizard person. Bro. Is that in reference to the lizard person comment? That's a joke, by the way. What do I look like, Zuck? Hey, Jordan, what's your friend social group look like now that you've lived in Mexico for a while? Is it 50-50 local Mexicans and expats, or is it more one than the other? Yeah, it's probably about 50-50. If you get a new woman, you're just going to keep changing logos. I'm not getting a new woman. I'm marrying her. Reptilian or Komodo? I don't know. Komodo. We like your sense of humor, just saying. Oh, thanks. I'm glad some people get my sense of humor. What did you think of the one? So in the video from today, it's like Sneaky Ways Las Vegas casino scam you. In that video, there were two parts where I tried to include some humor. One of them included British Jordan, which it seemed like most people weren't a fan of. They're like, "Don't do that again." But the second thing I included that I was trying to be funny, and people seemed to like this one. It was when I was in my comped private villa. I liked how that part turned out. Did anyone see that? What do you think of it? We're not engaged yet, but we're committed to each other. Vato Chingon says, I loved. Heck funny. Villa too. British Jordan was. That part didn't turn out as well as I was hoping, to be honest. The private villa was cute. Victor, thank you for the $3 super sticker. I appreciate that. That was funny when you said, "What are these people doing in my suite?" So I had to film that part a few times because people were giving me the weirdest looks walking by, and I couldn't keep a straight face. Yeah, keyword here. Yeah. Did you really get a private villa? You'll have to watch the video. Otherwise, I'll ruin the funny part. When you know, you know. I believe that wholeheartedly. You and she, a great couple. Great for you. Yeah, I mean, I've thought I was in love before, but after feeling what I felt with her, I realized either that before that wasn't love, or now it's just a whole other level. My villa was huge. Logo is too busy. Don't like it. That's good feedback. Like it does the plane and the other flying airplane thing make it too busy or what? My future in-laws. Yeah, yeah, I've met them all. I think you should have called the police on those people trespassing in your villa. that'd be a pretty funny interaction with them, I think. Dave asks, what's your favorite and least favorite part about being a vlogger? Best wishes to you, Mai, and Laska. Well, favorite part is it offers a lot of freedom. Like, I can work my own hours. I can basically go where I want, when I want, in most circumstances. Of course, like there's limitations like Laska getting hurt and things like that. Uh, but also I can live anywhere I want, so that's nice. Least favorite part? Right now, my least favorite part is there's about probably, I estimate about 10% of my audience that I can do no right in their eyes. And it really pisses me off because I'm honestly I'm a really good person, and I know I am, and I like I've been so good to people, yet like I'm just getting so much hate, and it's really frustrating. And like it'd be a different thing if I wasn't a good person, and then I was like people were hating on me for certain things, but that's frustrating. Brad, thanks for the super chat. The Spanish channel, what you gonna call it? Hope to see you reach 1,000,000 and up subscribers. I have no idea. I'll chat with her about it and see what she thinks. I'll chat with Mai, and maybe we can come up with a good name. Mountains or beaches? Mountains to live, beaches to vacation. How'd you like Resorts World? We were there a few months ago and loved it. Overall, I like it. I stayed, like the casino's really new and nice, and overall I like the restaurants there. Uh, I like that it's Hilton, because with my Hilton Aspire card, I have Hilton Diamonds, so that gives me all kinds of perks, which will, like, that's probably going to be my go-to place to stay in Vegas from now on, just because of all the perks I get for being Diamond. I spent one night at Crockford's on this trip, and that's like the highest end hotel there. I wanted to see what it was like. And overall, it was really nice. It was much quieter than the rest of the place, so it was kind of nice to have that getaway. Really, really high end everything there. One thing I really did not like about Crockford's is for the entire hotel they had only 2 elevators, and all of the Crockford's room are at the top of the hotel. So I was always waiting quite a while for an elevator. That was kind of frustrating. And then I stayed 3 nights at Conrad, and that was amazing. their housekeeping needs a little bit of work, but other than that, it was a great stay. Robert Kimmel asks, or says, I'm going to Puerto Rico and wondering what language program you recommend. So the language program I recommend is not going to work for you. So for most people, I would recommend Rocket Languages, and I'm an affiliate for them, and you can find that at tangerinespanish.com. A great course, but it ain't going to work for you for Puerto Rico because it's a way different accent there. And if you learn the Spanish that you learn from Rocket Languages, you're not going to understand anything when you go to Puerto Rico. So I would seek out a course that's learning Puerto Rico Spanish. Auto captions aren't great for me, I'm deaf, and I'm wondering how to spell your partner's name. I don't want to be misspelling. So I'm going to type it in the chat. Complete name is Myra. Nickname, My. Okay, so by the way, I don't know if you can read lips, but if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching my videos on YouTube, I pay for professional captions on every video. So it's almost always verbatim what I'm saying, and if it's not verbatim, it's just like changed a little bit to make it a little bit easier to read. Like for example, if I stutter and say a word twice, I might only put it once. But yeah, so you can activate closed captions on all of my videos, and then also if anyone wants to watch in another language, well then I provide them in a bunch of other languages as well. Sean asks, how do you feel about the skyrocketing prices in Vegas? We'll get to the point where the juice isn't worth the squeeze, so to speak. I mean, maybe we'll get to that point, but with all of the Vegas hacks I know, it's like even on this trip, it wasn't bad because I'm just getting so many credits for food and drinks and getting free drinks while gambling at low limits and things like that, that I just don't spend that much money in Vegas. But yeah, if you want to learn some of those tricks, go check out all the Vegas videos on the channel. You'll learn a lot. Thank you so much for being an accessible channel. You know, I really try to do everything I can to make the videos viewable to as many people as possible. And then if you watch the videos on Facebook, I have burnt in captions on the screen over there. But I'm glad you find it helpful. Inflation is killing me here in the US. I had to bail out my retired parents a few times recently. Yeah, it's hurting a lot of people. I have a feeling that'll be one reason that will cause more people to come to Mexico. Because although there's high inflation here as well, I mean, it's not as bad as in the US. And also the prices are just a lot lower here for most things. Don't easy, thanks for the super chat. Jordan, the 2026 FIFA World Cup is 4 years away, and Mexico will be hosting it along with the US and Canada. Hopefully you can get some tickets and check out some games. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yigi asks, have you had any of your family consider moving to Mexico? How would you react to that? No, none of them have. If they did, I would be surprised, at least in the near future. But who knows? Maybe in the future that will change. I love this new lighting setup I have. It's totally dark here now, but now I can still stream after dark because when I was back in the US, I got a bunch of new equipment that I've been wanting to get for a while, and one of those things was a lighting kit. Jordan, what do your family think about you living in Mexico? I mean, at first, like when they found out I was moving to Mexico, they were terrified for me. And every day leading up to the move, I was being sent articles and videos about all the terrible things happening in the country. But like when I first came to Mexico, I was on the phone with them pretty much every day, like assuring them that I'm okay. I always wanted to know where I was, what I was doing, things like that. But then as time went on, they realized that it's not as scary as they thought. And then a few months into it and watching the videos, I remember my dad said to me, "You're living a better life there than we are here, aren't you?" I was like, "Yep." Any Mazatelecos in the house? Is that what they call someone from Mazatlan? If so, I had no idea. I'm still waiting for Tangerine Travel's first vlog experience, soccer in Mexico. Yeah. Yeah, I need to do that. You just need something on your wall there, kind of creepy. What if I turn it so you can see a little something in the background? Any better? I'm too high. You can't really see it, I guess. Gotta block someone here. Oh, it keeps giving me an error. I'm trying to block this scammer and it's saying an error occurred. Try refreshing the page. So now I have to put it in timeout, which is stupid. Or just someone scamming porn stuff or something. Ryan, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Jordan, congrats on building a career around YouTube and travel. Which city in Mexico is the most fun and authentic for a Dia de Muertos festival? The best one I've been to is probably Oaxaca City. Yeah. Last year, I was actually surprised by Puerto Vallarta. They had a lot of cool stuff out on the Malecon there. But I mean, there it's not like authentic. It's kind of let's just say it's less authentic. It was still cool though. It was still really cool. Jordan, I think it's because I've hid them from the channel, so it shows an error on your end. I see. Sean asked one last question. Is there a chance you can do a video in Vegas with Norma, Pomsey, Derek, not leaving Las Vegas, turn it upward? That'd be so cool. So I was trying to arrange something with Norma this trip, but that didn't end up working out. Maybe another time. But yeah, I'd consider most of those. Are you planning to become a Mexican citizen sometime in the future? Yeah. Are you a Mexican citizen yet? Nope. What are the most difficult Spanish words for you to pronounce? There's some cities and neighborhoods here in around here and around the area that I struggle with. One is Carretas. I didn't say too bad that time. Another is the state, Querétaro. I think I'm getting a little bit better with that one. But again, these aren't even Spanish words, or at least most of these neighborhoods aren't Spanish words, or like indigenous language or something. So maybe that doesn't count as a Spanish word. But a lot of times it's places. I didn't see the original comment on this, but this one is Dave H. I doubt anybody has thought about drone regulations here. There are drone regulations. They were put into place a few years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. And like basically, from what I read, it was basically only people with pilot's license could get a drone license. So it was at that point that I sold my drone because I didn't want to deal with that risk. But some time has passed now, and I've never heard of anyone getting into trouble for flying a drone. So I actually bought a new drone on my last trip. Does that mean there's a lot of drone use in Mexico? There's quite a bit of drone use. I see drones flying around fairly often. In fact, when I was going through airport security in Mexico City, they're like, "Do you have any electronics in here?" Like because I would have had to take them out, and I was like, "Just my laptop." And he goes, "No drone?" No. So even airport security is asking about it. You could use General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard orange car. That's a great idea. Yeah, I should do that. What are the benefits of becoming a citizen? So, it makes life easier. Like, there's, you go in the citizen line when you're entering the country at the airport without ever getting questioned. You open a bank account without getting questioned, open credit cards, things like that. You can buy property in your name throughout the entire country without ever having to put it in a trust or own it through a corporation. But you can also vote. But the most important thing for me to getting Mexican citizenship is getting the passport. Because, in my opinion, you can't have too many passports. How much is gas where you are right now? So for regular unleaded, you can find it for about 20 pesos a liter, which I think is about $4 a gallon. Does Querétaro have any local botanical gardens or art museums that you would recommend? Always looking for new ones to add to my list. Thanks so much. Uh, I don't have a good answer for you, but if anyone else knows, please comment in the chat. Are you kidding, Jordan? Where's 20 pesos per liter? I'm just driving around Querétaro. Um, I've seen I've seen it at least in the low 20s in the past couple of days. I saw a video of a woman who gave a tour of her home in Mazatlan, and it looked like it would be a really nice place to live. Have you been there? Yes, but I was there at the very beginning of my Mexico travels, so I didn't go out of the very touristy areas. So basically, I went to Centro Histórico and Zona Dorada, or what they call the Golden Zone. And I really enjoyed my time there, although my experiences were pretty limited. A liter is not equal to a gallon. No, it's not. But 4 liters is pretty close if I remember right. Where are most of your viewers from? Well, since it's an English-speaking channel, that alone means that most viewers are from the English-speaking countries, primarily the US, but also Canada, Great Britain, Australia. And then since there's most of the videos are done in Mexico, well then there's some Mexico viewers as well. So it's like 70% US, 10% Mexico, 10% Canada, and 10% from elsewhere. It varies a little, but it's more or less what it is. Speaking of obtaining citizenship, do you have study guides or know the questions you will be asked to demonstrate proficiency in Spanish? No, I'm going to go about obtaining citizenship another way instead of the most common way. Ernie says, discovered your videos recently. Fantastic. Great job. Thank you. Do you do your own editing? What software do you use? I do not do my own editing. I don't even know how to edit a video. Aria Films, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. What are the chances of you and my exploring Tijuana, Nogales, Sinaloa, Monterrey, and Chiapas by the end of the year? Hopefully you guys can. Now, maybe 1 or 2 of those, as well as other places. Probably fairly high, but all of them by the end of the year, I wouldn't count on that. Citizenship through marriage by chance? You don't get citizenship through marriage here. Have you talked to Timeless Travels lately? I love Acapulco and miss his videos. I think it's been a few months since I've chatted with him. Does your girlfriend have a car? No, she doesn't. What are the various ways to obtain Mexican citizenship? I don't know all the ways, but you can get permanent residency, have that for 5 years, and pass the citizenship test. Or there's other ways, like if, for example, you know a Secretary of State. Will you be changing this channel name soon or keeping it as is? I am going to keep the name as Tangerine Travels. Like, it's the most well-known, most recognized, most searched for name in the Mexico travel space. So I am not changing the name. Do you plan on other work aside from just making videos? No, like this takes up enough of my time. Oh, here's a scammer again. I'm going to try to block again. Okay, I think I got it blocked this time. Sweet. Did you always outsource editing, or did your previous sidekick edit for Tangerine Travels? I've wanted to outsource the editing for a long time, but that's not something she was willing to give up. And yeah, she was doing the editing before. Christian, I see a comment here with nothing else, so I'm guessing you sent stars. Thank you very much. After the stream is over, I'll go over to Facebook and make sure I respond to anyone who sent stars. But unfortunately, I cannot see it with my software, which is disappointing. Louise says, holy moly, new logo is pretty awesome. Glad you like it. We're still working on it. But yeah. So there will be some variations probably. What kind of equipment do you use to record? Well, if you've seen most of my recent videos, I've filmed them all basically, or almost all of them on a Sony RX100 VII. But I also recently picked up a GoPro, and I picked up some other equipment as well. But yeah, if I was buying just one today to record vlogs on, it would be the GoPro 10. You got to watch Ryan Van Duser's Mexico biking videos. Interesting. I didn't know he was in Mexico. I remember coming across his channel ages ago, and he was biking across the US at that time. Why GoPro? Because it's simple, it's good picture quality, it's waterproof, it's much cheaper than a lot of the other options, and it's small. I value compact. Like, traveling with big cameras and big equipment is a real pain in the ass, and like trying to hold it out in front of you, it really takes a lot of effort, a lot of muscle in your shoulders to be able to hold a heavy camera out in front of you. And yeah, it's just, I think, good value for the money and small. Are you house hunting? If so, any luck? Looking at my first place tomorrow. And thank you. Overheating and battery life is the downside of a GoPro. So when the GoPro 10 came out, there were a lot of reviewers online who said that it overheated for them. But all these guys were reviewing it in a static environment and not using the GoPro how it's meant to be used. And then once GoPro told them that, they're like, hey, don't set it on your desk and test it that way. Go test it out in the real world how you would use a GoPro. And then like when it's out like that, the overheating issue pretty much goes away. You have to be using it for quite a while and filming at like really high frame rates and things like that, like using the camera to its fullest extent. And honestly, like you can get great footage at 1080p or 4K, and you don't need to use it at its highest possible frame rates or anything like that, at least not for very long. And then battery life, yeah, it's not the best, but I mean, they came out with that Enduro battery that improved the battery life quite a bit. And then, excuse me, I'm getting some allergies. And they also have like this selfie stick that's also a battery that basically is like 3 charges or something. So that can help as well. Jordan, what made you want to leave your current place? Honestly, I love everything about this house. This house is amazing. But one thing is that Maya and I didn't pick it out together. And I have a history here with an ex, and she's not totally comfortable with that. So she's not totally comfortable being here, which I don't like. I loved your Tapalpa video. That's my hometown. I haven't been there in years. Thanks for bringing back memories. I love that video too. That's an awesome video. Such a cool place. One of my favorite towns I've been to. Tortas ahogadas or chilaquiles? I'm gonna go with chilaquiles. Sometimes those tortas ahogadas are too spicy for me. Do you think leaving the house will be a way to close that chapter in your life? Yeah. Yeah, I do. When you'll be releasing your house tour vlog? After I've moved out. So it depends on the timeline of when I find a new place. Do you have a street taco episode in Querétaro? No, but I like that idea. Speaking of street tacos, I need to figure out what's for dinner. So maybe I'll end the stream now. I'll give a couple minutes, see if you have any more questions. And then I'm going to go eat dinner. Will Alaska be getting a buddy now that you have a girlfriend? She did get she got a new buddy. Her new buddy is Mai. It's already like 9:12 p.m. there. Yes, it is. Why did you not choose to live near the ocean? I tried that. And for most of the year, it's too hot and humid for me. And the mosquitoes are too bad. I would consider living at the ocean for like 6 months or something. Then up in the highlands of Mexico for 6 months. Maybe sometime in the future. Is tequila different in Mexico than in the US? For some reason, in Mexico, we don't have any of the gold tequila crap that you can find in the US, and that's so common, like Jose Cuervo Gold. It's just not a thing here. So uh, there's certainly a lot better options. And it's definitely cheaper here. So I like the tequila here in Mexico. Hi, Jordan. Would you and I ever like to collab with Connecticutans or even Tourist to Local? I would do Connecticutans. I don't know who Tourist to Local is. I shouldn't say I would do Connecticutans. I would do a collab with Connecticutans just to make sure no one takes that out of context. Gail, thanks so much for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate that. Which states are cooler? Basically, every state that's not touching the US border and not touching a body of water is cooler. Heck, even you can be in the same state and it's still going to be cooler. For example, like in Jalisco, you have Puerto Vallarta. However, you go east a little bit into Jalisco and you're up in the mountains and it's really nice temperatures year round. Like someone else in a previous comment had mentioned Tapalpa. That's a small mountain town in Jalisco where you're going to have great weather year round. Had to clear that up. I just don't want to be taken out of context, you know. Avs or Lightning? I think the Avalanche are going to be hard to beat. Please do some skydiving in the next video. Your channel name is Skywind, so I imagine you're into skydiving. I am terrified of heights and I'll never go skydiving. That's just one thing I've zero desire to do. I will never. But thank you for the suggestion. Are you suggesting people should always move when they start or stop a relationship? No, I'm not. I assume you're talking about earlier when someone's like, will that help? Will moving out of this house help close that chapter? And I think it will help. For me, it's not a necessary step. What's the difference between mezcal and tequila? Well, tequila has to be made in certain parts of Mexico, and if it's not, well, then it can't be called tequila. Also, it has to be made from blue agave, and if it's not, it can't be called tequila. Mezcal is basically everything else that cannot be called tequila. And mezcal can be made from many different varieties of agave plants, and the taste changes depending on which agave plant it is. For example, one of my favorites is the plant Tobala. And there's a smoky taste often associated with mezcal, and some mezcales are prepared in a way like maybe it's underground or like covered in some like underground oven or something like that keeps some of the smoke in there, if I remember right. Have you tried pulque? Yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. Once I tried it in Guanajuato, and I had too much. Like it was only uh, 10 pesos or about 50 cents for a glass of pulque, and it has like a carbonation to it. And I just drank too much, and I had a terrible stomach ache after that. But I've tried it since then, and it was good. But I hear that sometimes it can be like really thick, and I don't know if I would like it with that consistency. Is that the new logo? Well, there's some that we're working with. We're still working out the details, but here's a couple options. So I was in Vegas, and uh, for a couple of days I was gone, Mai was watching Alaska at the house, and I have this whiteboard in the house, and Mai drew this, like with her, me, and Alaska, and below it said, "Welcome home," and I loved it. And I posted that on Facebook, and someone suggested that I turn that into a logo, so I attempted to turn it into a logo. Is mezcal just as good as tequila? They don't seem to sell mezcal much in Arizona. I want to try it. It depends. Like, I've had some really bad tequilas, and I've had some really bad mezcales. Um, but I've also had very smooth mezcales and tequilas. Whoa, your girlfriend has so many talents. Yeah, she does. Alaska's should scooch a little closer to you in the logo. Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. Alrighty. Well, I'll think I'll call it a night now so I can go make some dinner. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate that. And I'll see you on the next stream.